Welcome everybody to another one. If you just tapping in, please hit the like button and share. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really helps, and we greatly appreciate that. Yes, family, we on part 21. You know, we getting right through this. You know, got a lot I want to share, a lot that I'm not going to share. You know, for obvious reasons. But you know, we on part 21, man. I'm in my prison. You know, as I said in the last series, in the last part rather, is that you know, it was a kind of mix up for me. I was in the wrong section, you know. So, you know, in the feds, man, you know, it's a lot of division, man. A lot of division, you know. California is very racial. You know, for anybody that's aware of the prison system in California, it's very, very racial. It's always blacks against the Mexicans. It don't matter whether you're Blood, Crip, Vice Lord, GD, whatever the gangs is, right? When you get there, it's about black, you know, versus these other guys. It shouldn't be that way, but you know, it's been that way for so long. Who am I to even try to change it? So, you know, like I said, I went to the guys, the Spanish guys, and just, you know, out of respect, because in prison, the way you stay alive is that one word that could be the means of you being here or not being here, and that word is called respect. So not out of fear, but out of respect, I went to them and just apologized, because, you know, I don't want anybody to feel like I disrespected them and then later on they sneak me in and, you know, possibly taking me out or severely injure me. So I want to, you know, to apologize. They, you know, they understood, because, you know, they from California. Most of the black guys there from California, so they know they shouldn't be in other people's section. So obviously I'm not from here, you know, so they knew that I didn't know, and they, you know, they was pretty cool. And in fact, you know, once I got dug into my cell, you know, introduced myself to my cellmate and things like that, real good dude, man, from out of Oakland, California. You know, he was just giving me the little scoop on the unit and how things go and things like that. And strangely enough, my next door neighbor was a Serrano. Now Serrano is just, you know, a Mexican gang, you know, Spanish gang rather. You know, they Serrano it stands for southern part of California. You know, these are, you know, mind you, I just got to be real. You know, they not playing. You know, they not playing at all. You know, so, you know, but they're very respectful, because that's what they demand in return. So anyway, you know, my cellmate is giving me the scoop, you know, in the cell, you know, how he lives, you know, his schedule, you know, because I don't like to be nobody way. So I'm a very observant person. You know, this ain't my first time in prison. So I'm, you know, watching his schedule, seeing what time he goes to work, what time he comes back, you know, when he, you know, when he kind of gets himself dug in to make his meals, maybe get on the phone. So I know where I can fit in, and I'm not in his way and he's not in my way, vice versa. We not kind of bumping heads, you know. So did that. Then I went out to dinner to meet, you know, the guys from New York. And, you know, like I said in the last part, you know, hey man, you know, we out here, you know, there ain't a lot of us, but we gotta stick together like a tight wall, you know. And the number one thing is, you know, paperwork is mandatory. What do I mean by paperwork? Paperwork is, you have to show, right, that, you know, what case you had, kind of case you had, and you have to show that you did not cooperate with the government, meaning you did not tell on somebody, you did not snitch on somebody, you did not rat on nobody. I'm giving you the language so you can understand exactly what I'm saying. No cut, no filter, right? So, and the way you have to prove that is through paperwork. Not, no, I didn't tell nobody. Take my word. No, the word is black and white. So, you know, gave me the scoop. You know, no gambling, no playing no tickets, no, you know, pretty much you just got to be out of the way until you are clear. Meaning that somebody gets your paperwork, they read it, filter through it, make sure, you know, you're not a child rapist, a child molester, or you don't have any of that in your past, you know, because that's a no-no. You're not going to be able to stay if you have that in your jacket. You could have a drug case as a current offense, but you know, maybe 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, you had a rape charge where you raped a child, or you're gone. You're not staying. You know, and in fact, you know, chances are you're gonna get blasted off the yard. Meaning, when I say blasted, I meaning, you know, you either gonna get the brakes beat off of you, or you gonna think you died, or you're gonna get stabbed up off the yard. That's, you know, that's the golden rule throughout the penitentiary and the federal system. So, you know, hey, all right, cool. You know, I'm on deck with that. I'm gonna go ahead and call my lawyer, which is exactly what I did when I got back to UNIC. Call my lawyer. You know, she wasn't in the office. I left a message, told her I'd call her early in the morning. I called about 9:30 around that time. I said, listen, I need you to print off my whole case file and mail it to me. I need my judgment commitment statement of reasons, my sentencing transcripts, and things of that nature. So she said, well, okay, I can send you the JNC. I'm not sure if I can send you the statement of reason because you guys, I don't think you guys are permitted to have it. Now, the Bureau of Prisons, meaning the federal system, they have stopped guys from having the statement of reasons because the statement of reasons will tell whether you cooperated or not, and they know that guys are looking for that. So let me just show you real quick what the statement of reasons is. Okay, so you have, all right. So you have what's called here a judgment and commitment, right? Now in the judgment and commitment, you'll have it'll tell you current offense. I don't know if I hope you can see it, right? Your current offense right here, bang. Then the next page will have here go right here. Sorry about that, y'all. It'll have how much time you got. I don't know if you can see that, 240 months. Then a lot of it is just a supervised release. You know, when you get out, you be on supervised release. The terms of your supervised release, not very important because that doesn't tell whether you told on nobody or not. So don't get tricked by that. And likewise, special conditions of the I know I'm blowing through it fast, but I'm trying to get to the point because I got to get to do a little side hustling, DoorDash. That's what I do on the side, family. You know, criminal monetary penalties, you know, fine, you know, you're always gonna have to pay a fine, you know, you don't have to do that. Schedule of payments, how you pay your fine, you know, kind of schedule it to make it suitable for you. And then, then you have what's called the statement of reasons. What is the statement of reasons? Statement of reasons is the reason why the judge gave you the sentence he gave you. So he's going to explain why he gave you that sentence he gave you. If you cooperated and he gave you a lower sentence, it's going to be in here, the statement of reasons. Statement of reasons is an attachment to the judgment of commitment. A lot of times guys will have their judgment of commitment, but their statement of reasons won't be added into it. That's an attachment that is very difficult to get, but I had like, I'm gonna use street terminology. I had a G'd up lawyer that she sent it to me, family, but she put it in between all the paperwork because she sent a stack of paperwork. My whole case file was this big. You know, I went to trial, so I had a lot of things in there, and she put it in the middle, and it got through. Right? So it's gonna tell you, you know, your guideline range, things of that nature, and then over here. Here we go. It's gonna have the 5K1 box. I don't know if you can see it, right? And if that's checked off, ooh, you're in trouble. Because 5K1 means plea agreement based on, what does it say here? Plea agreement based on substantial assistance. Meaning that you cooperated. So if that's checked off, you got problems. Then, obviously here, it's gonna be more things dealing with the guidelines. Then on the bottom is gonna, it states, explain facts justifying a sentence outside the sentence guideline range. So the judge gives an explanation of why he gave me the sentence he gave me, right? So that's one part, right? But the main paperwork that you want to have is what you call your sentencing transcripts. Why I say the sentencing transcripts? Because the sentencing transcript is going to recap your entire case. So why is that important? Because you may have a guy that initially he decided, man, I'm telling, man, to hell with this. I don't care who, what, where, and when and how. I'm telling, right? And then he gets to change of heart later on and decides, man, nah, I'm not doing it no more. I'm gonna fight my case, goes to trial, and then boom, it's not gonna reflect in his statement of reasons that he told, because he didn't get the credit for it, so that box will not be checked off. So he'll slip through the cracks. But, however, if you have the sentencing transcript is going to recap the whole case, meaning whatever was said at sentencing is going to be in those transcripts. You know, you got the stenographer that's typing up every word that's said in there. You know, if you sneeze, you farted. You know, I'm joking, but you get the point. It's going to be transcribed in those transcripts. So if you did decide to cooperate, the government, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna explain that, yeah, Your Honor, he wanted to cooperate, but the defendant decided that's gonna be in it. And then when they read the transcript, oh, bro, nah, but I didn't. You gotta go. You gotta go. You're not staying. You know, I done seen guys do what they call buck, meaning that, man, I ain't going nowhere. And like I said, that's fine. You know, that's fine. And because, you know, just because a guy cooperated don't mean, you know, he soft or he punk, you know. But you're gonna leave, willingly or unwillingly. You're gonna leave in one piece or many different pieces. Is your call. And I'm not trying to make this a violent part right here. I'm just trying to explain the lifestyle in there is really for you youngsters. That's what I'm really getting at, to show you what you facing when you go up in there. So anyway, family, we gonna stop right here because I got some orders that's coming in, and you know, gotta get this side hustle going. You know, got things I gotta do, places I gotta go, places I want to be, places I'm trying to get. So we're gonna leave all part 21 right here where it's at. Hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, also share, and if you're not subscribed, please go and subscribe. I leave as I always do. Remember, your potential for greatness is unlimited.